My name is Barron. I am not a talented singer, a magician, or a comedian. I am not here to make you laugh or marvel. I am just a boy who has seen too much, far more than any child should ever witness. A journey through ruins. When I set foot in Gaza, there were no stage lights, no applause, only shattered walls, roofs pierced by rockets, and air filled with dust and ashes. I walked down a street that should have been a place where children played, but it was nothing more than a heap of rubble. No laughter, just the howling of the wind through the empty shells of homes. Then I met Layla, an 8-year-old girl standing silently beneath a broken window frame. She clutched a tattered doll tightly to her chest, her eyes devoid of the innocence that children are meant to have. "Have you seen my brother?" she asked me. I didn't know how to answer, because I knew her brother was never coming back. I walked on and met Ahmed, a 13-year-old boy quietly collecting fragments of bricks. "I am rebuilding my mother's house," he said, even though all that remained around him were crumbling walls. I looked into his eyes, not the eyes of a child, but the eyes of someone who had lost everything. Further down the road, I met a group of children huddled together in the remains of what was once a classroom. The blackboard was covered in dust, the desks broken. They sat there, flipping through torn pages of old books, clinging to an education that the war had tried to take from them. "We still have our dreams," one of them whispered, "even if our school is gone." Mothers and dreams that will never return stepped into a refugee camp where mothers sat together, clutching old, frayed photographs. A young woman named Aisha held a picture of her son. "He dreamed of becoming a doctor to save lives," she said. "But he never got the chance." I had no words. I could only hold her hand, and in that moment, I felt her pain, a pain beyond words. Another mother named Fatima told me about her son, Yusef, who had gone to war with the hope of protecting his family. "He promised me he would come back," she said, her eyes brimming with tears. "But I never saw him again." I met a grandmother named Hannah, who sat beside the ruins of her home, holding a baby wrapped in a thin blanket. "She cries at night because she is cold," she told me. "I have no home left to shelter her." Her voice broke as she rocked the infant gently in her arms. A call to humanity today. I stand on this stage not just to tell these stories. I carry with me dreams left unfulfilled, promises that were never kept. I stand here to say that war does not only take lives, it takes away futures, hopes, and laughter. I am not an artist, but if I could do one thing, I would leave behind a message. We cannot allow these stories to continue. War is not just a battlefield. It is the shattered home of a child who will never know peace. It is the mother who waits for a son who will never return. It is the silence where there should have been music, the darkness where there should have been light. I want you to imagine, just for a moment, what it feels like to lose everything, to wake up and not know if your family is still alive, to hear the sound of bombs and wonder if you will see the next sunrise, to be a child and have your childhood stolen by the horrors of war. But despite all this pain, I have seen something else, something that war cannot destroy. I have seen resilience. I have seen hope. I have seen people who have lost everything but still find a way to smile. A little boy who picks up a piece of chalk and writes on a broken wall, "We will rebuild." A mother who, despite her grief, cradles her newborn with the love and warmth of a future yet to be written. This is why I am here, to tell you that these people are not just statistics. They are not just numbers on a news report. They are real. They have names. They have stories. And they deserve to be heard. If war has taught me anything, it is that silence is the greatest enemy. We cannot turn away. We cannot pretend that their suffering does not exist. We must speak up. We must listen. We must act, because every child deserves to play without fear. Every mother deserves to see her child grow. Every family deserves a home that is not reduced to rubble. And every dream deserves a chance to come true. Let us not be the generation that watched and did nothing. Let us be the voices that cry out for peace, the hands that help rebuild, the hearts that refuse to forget. Because in the end, love is stronger than war, and hope, no matter how small, is a light that will never go out.
Shattered walls and broken dreams, echoes of the lost still scream. Children cry in silent pain as war calls out their names again. I see the sorrow in their eyes, a world on fire, a heart that dies. When will we learn? When will we say no more lives to waste away? Lay down your arms, let love remain. Let the rain wash away the pain. Hold the hands of those who weep. Sing them songs, let their souls keep. A mother waits, her hands are cold. A promise made, a story told. But war it takes, it never spares, leaving ghosts in empty chairs. I see the sorrow in their eyes, a world on fire, a heart that dies. When will we learn? When will we say no more lives to waste away? Lay down your arms, let love remain. Let the rain wash away the pain. Hold the hands of those who weep. Sing them songs, let their souls keep. What if we chose a different way? What if tomorrow starts today? No more battles, no more graves, only hope, a life to save. Lay down your arms, hear the sound of voices rising from the ground. No more sorrow, no more shame. Let the world know love remains.